Trouble in mind, I'm blue, but I won't be blue always. The sun gonna shine my back door someday. Trouble in mind, I know my poor heart is healing slow. Never had such trouble in my whole life before.
Trouble in Mind is a great 8-bar blues song, very similar in structure to Key to the Highway, but you can play it very differently, or at least I do a completely different version, and I kind of learned most of it from David Hamburger. He has this YouTube channel called Fretboard Confidential. Go check it out. Great channel, amazing player and way better teacher than me. So I'm not even sure why you're here. Go check out David Hamburger. But if you want to learn an open D arrangement of Trouble in Mind, here's what I did. You can obviously get the tab on Patreon, because that's where my tabs are now, at least the downloadable tabs. Obviously you can still see the on-screen tabs on the YouTube videos, but if you want to download the PDF or a Guitar Pro file, you can do that on Patreon by supporting me, and thank you for that, obviously, or of course. So back to the arrangement. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just doing small double stops, so just implying chord fragments on actually in this song mainly on the first and the third strings. And I'm only adding a quarter note bass. This sort of vibe. I'm not doing the 8th note octave bass, I'm just doing the quarter notes, which are basically every downbeat. So you see the tab, so I wouldn't necessarily go into all the shapes and all the notes, but what I would like to talk about is using a sliding arrangement like this, because normally it's obviously way more comfortable to just play it like this. It's easier to play this, but I just remember I wanted to tell you something about this chord. Basically, this is we're in D, so it's an A, so it's a B flat. I'm always getting confused between, because this guitar is in open D, my Mule Orchestra is in open E, and I'm kind of thinking in terms of the same tuning, even though they are one whole tone apart, but the mechanics or the logic around the two necks is the same thing. And I started, yeah, that's a better way of phrasing it. I started mixing up open D and open E. So don't get confused by that. We're in D, and the 5 chord is A. This is an A7 shape. And a move that people often use in blues and jazz and swing is just coming to the 5 from a sharp 5. But because you're using this open string, which is an open A string, you're using this open string in the A chord, you can't just play the full 4 strings or 5 strings that you were playing before on the A chord, because actually this is also an A string. You got 2 open A strings, 2 and 5. So if you want to play this B flat to jump into the A, what I advise doing is don't play all the strings, just pick 4, 3 and 1. And when I'm arriving at the A chord, I'm actually not playing 4, 3, 1, I'm playing well, 5-3-1. So I'm basically repositioning my thumb from the from the fourth to the fifth string. This right here is sort of a full chord. This you might know from Deep River Blues. But that's a separate lesson, you can find it on my channel. If you've already seen that, you know this chord to be the, well, it's an A7, an E7, but the Deep River Blues, but the inversion that was popularized by Deep River Blues. Yeah, and yeah, that's it. I just made the mistake I told you don't do, like this, yeah, not playing the second string. So this is the move down to the 5 chord. So back to slide. Anytime I want to arrange a solo for a song like this that has a recognizable melody, I kind of go with the main melody that everyone knows, that's familiar to your ears and or the listener's ears. And in this case, the melody is maybe it doesn't go to C. But the main point is I just play these notes with the slide, and we all know that the slide is similar in some ways to vocalists or singing. So it's a great way to sing on the guitar. But I also want to play the chords because I want to keep up the rhythm and have a solid chordal structure. So instead of doing this, I could do. It doesn't sound that good, so I do this full bar or almost full bar B flat to A. And then I slide in again with almost a full bar to the G chord, and that's basically it. I just wanted to bring your attention to the main melody. You can always play that with a slide, and it's not flashy, it's not virtuosic, or not a heavy, I don't know, flashy, hot technique. So people won't think you're Van Halen on the guitar, but most of the listeners will appreciate a good melody, and they will listen because they already know it. And if you can play slide well, the intonation is fine, and you have a nice vibrato, then it's gonna definitely sell your solo. So don't always think about that being hot or flashy, or don't shred. Obviously you can't really shred with the slide, or I guess, yeah, I guess Ariel Posen and Joe Leonard can shred with the slide, so that's obviously possible, but you don't have to always do that. Those two guys that I just mentioned, they are really melody oriented, and that's a key lesson, I think, for all of us. So anyway, thanks for checking out this lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. You can obviously interact with me on Patreon too. And yeah, thanks for supporting or watching the channel.